Okay, so I answered my own question. I was trying to get this fork assembly on the PTO on the Drake T4XB to be lined up on this core. So this part here, this fork, you really want it to have a good number of threads when it's all the way in, still on this thing. So the fix is easy, and I was like not aware of this, but this little pin here in the front, you can see a little stop hitting the pin here. When that thing falls into the wheel, the stop hits the pin. So I kept thinking there's some kind of gear mechanism in this thing, but no. This pin just rides along the gear here, and when it falls into the hole in this gear, then that pin hits this other pin. So it's really ingenious, but the fix is really easy. You just want to pull this pin back. So with a screwdriver, you can pull the pin back, and then you can rotate it out of band, shall we say. So I found that if you backtrack this thing about 5 turns, and then you can get the threads in this fork, the correct amount of threads, about 5 turns, and then this is not going to come off, and there's plenty of threads to grip. So that's what I'm doing. I'm sure it whacked out the frequency, so what I'll have to do then is probably loosen up this wheel and spin it, or I'll need to put some washers behind this assembly, or buy larger spacers to, since I've moved this thing forward. Well, that's interesting. I moved it forward, so I can put in smaller spacers probably, except that I don't want to hit any wiring, so it's going to be fun. I'll probably end up just taking off that snap ring down there, that snap ring in there, take that off and slip this mylar plastic a bit. Anyway, that gets me beyond the problem where I like to tune sometimes down to the end of this thing just to see. Sometimes you hear a station down there or something and you want to hear it. So that fixes the core conundrum where I was hitting this pin and this slug, this tuned assembly was falling off the edge of the threads. So somebody must have put that on at the very edge a long time ago. I don't know. Maybe at the factory, who knows, but of course the way this works is when you tune it, now we're basically pulling that slug, we're pulling that ferrite out of the core, and the frequency is changing on this oscillator. That's how this puppy works, so it's a really good design that Drake came up with, and it's all in-house. And I guess they use this thing on all their transceivers and receivers, transmitters, even the TR7 and the TR8. So no, not the TR8, the TR7, the T4XB, the R4B, and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, this works pretty good now. There's a stop hitting that little paw that comes out. You can see the stop, and then the paw retracts because the wheel pushes it out. So the paw rides along this wheel, and you can see the slit coming up with a hole, and the pin just drops in that hole, and that makes the pin stop. So it's a pretty cool design. Now it drops in the hole slowly, because they put a bevel in there and it hits it. That is really, really ingenious. Those people in Miamisburg, Ohio were ingenious. So anyway, that's about it from here. I guess I answered my own question on this thing, how to fix it, and I'll have to fix the frequency later on, but I gotta wait for the power supply parts to come in to rebuild the power supply, test it. Okay, well, thanks for watching. Have a great day.